Welcome, everybody, to the Sonoma Spiel. My name is Tim with the Sonoma Valley Visitors Bureau, where we talk to you everything about Sonoma. This is Sonoma's Top Podcast, and if you don't believe me, just rewind 10 seconds where I said this is Sonoma's Top Podcast, because it is. Hey, I have something to tell you guys. Normally I say I went to the farmer's market, and then I say, oh, I had a great time, and then I went to the Plaza, and I did all sorts of things, but some big things are happening here in Sonoma. It's that weird frisson of things happening, of like frenzies about to happen. And what that is going to start with this sound. When you hear that next Wednesday at noon in front of the Mission in Sonoma, that's the official kickoff to grape harvest in Sonoma Valley, when we're bringing in the Chardonnay and the Pinot Noir and a lot of the grapes that are used in the early harvest wines, and it's the start of the season we call Crush, and everything is so exciting. It's a great time to visit. There's also a lot of people here, so it's a really kind of a frenzied thing happening, but it's a good time. Now, with that, speaking of frenzies and amazing things happening, what a great segue! I would like to introduce our next guest, who is a very special guest. I know I say that every week. Every week I say I have a very special guest. This time I actually mean it, because we're going to talk about the arts and all the cool stuff to see and do in Sonoma in the fall. Allison Coats, how are you?
Hi, I'm good.
I'm so glad that you are here. I'm glad that you somehow are going to forgive me for saying frenzy and then you. I don't know.
No, we'll roll with it. It's fine.
Thank you. Yeah, sometimes when I'm coming in, I'm like, what's my intro? And I just have to roll with that.
Just happens.
But isn't there, like, don't you think there is that kind of like crazy, frenzied feeling in the air around harvest?
I think it's because school's starting again, and then it's, kind of like our time to shine.
It is. It is. The kids are back at school.
Yes, so the adults get to play now.
That's right.
Yes.
And but have you seen any grape trucks yet on the road?
No, I haven't.
Okay,
but my commute is a block.
Okay, fair enough. There's not a lot of opportunity to see grape
No.
trucks. I was behind one on Leveroni about 2 days ago.
Okay.
And I don't think it was full. I think they're just positioning them.
Yeah.
And like they're flatbed trucks, and they have what they call gondolas.
Yes.
Which are not for skiing. They look like these big metal things you can tip.
Yeah, we had a vineyard.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
You had a vineyard?
Yes, Valerie's Vineyard.
You grew up on a vineyard?
I did.
I didn't even know that. Okay.
Very familiar with harvest.
So you used to work in a harvest, sort of?
Yes, I did. Just 1 acre, but yeah, we did. We did do harvest.
But it was just 1 acre, but it was your acre.
It was.
So you were actually probably a lot involved.
Yes, we were grandparents, parents, me and my brother.
Really?
Yeah.
I never knew. And did you guys make wine with it, or did you sell your grapes?
We did some Pinot Noir.
You did?
We did.
What was the
Ledson
name
made wine with it. It's called Valerie's Vineyard.
Okay.
Ledson did some with it, and then our friend Lance Cutler made some wine with it as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are you still in the wine business?
My clients are.
But the family vineyard's still
No,
not
it's been sold. We sold the property.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, good. Well, you know what a gondola is.
I do.
All
I'm
right.
familiar with all parts of the harvest.
Good. I'm going to bring you back in as I do the harvest check-in. Well, Allison, I'm bringing you here because you and along with your father work for a company called Coats Public Relations.
Yes.
How'd you come up with that name?
It's weird. We stole it. So my dad used to work for Glotto Coats and Need back when he started out, and when he decided to live full-time in Sonoma, working for Bruce Cohn and the Doobies, he branched off and did Coats Public Relations.
Got it. And so Coats Public Relations is sort of a boutique firm that you guys seem to specialize in a lot of the arts. You have a bunch of different interesting ones, because your dad will send me stuff about the Pacific Salmon Fisheries Association, which I love the advice to that. But a lot of what you focus on are a lot of the wineries and the arts groups here in Sonoma.
Yeah, and hospitality, I'd say we're driven. Yeah.
Okay. And then, so can you tell me, fall, even though it's really kind of hot right now in Sonoma, it does cool off eventually.
Yes.
And even the nights are getting cooler. I could see that. And we kind of move into art season. So I want you to come and tell me, what kind of art stuff should we talk about that people should come to Sonoma to check out?
We have some incredible stuff going on at, one of my favorite places in Sonoma, the Sonoma Valley Museum of Art.
Okay.
They are closing up their current exhibitions and getting ready to open up our new one, which is Richard Mayhew Inner Terrain, opening September 16th through January 7th, so our fall exhibition into winter. We have our exhibition reception Saturday, September 23rd from 5 to 7. And this is going to be a rare and timely exhibition of the artwork of Richard Mayhew, who was born in 1924.
Okay.
Still alive.
Okay.
Will be at the opening, as well as an artist talk the next day.
And I'm looking. Is he a photographer?
He is a painter.
A painter. Okay.
What did I
look at
bring
this.
for
He's
you?
99 years old.
Yes, here we go.
Okay. Oh, look at we've got for
we've
those
got
of you,
collateral.
I'm going to hold it up to the camera if you're watching it on YouTube. Okay, so he's 99 years old.
99 years old.
That's great.
It's going to be paintings that speak to his culture and history. And they're dreamlike landscapes with bright colors. You can kind of see some in the background there.
So the article I just Googled right here.
Yeah.
New York Times.
Which mentions the Sonoma Valley Museum of Art.
This is amazing. How do
Yes.
we? So I'm going to bring this up. I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again, and I'll say it next time. Sonoma Valley, we punch way above our weight in the arts for the size of the town itself is 8,000 people. The valley's 45,000.
Yeah.
The art museum, which is just south of the Plaza, it's a half a block. If you go to Pete's, where you'll see me getting my coffee in the afternoon, you pass right by it.
Yeah.
This
It's
is a
free
great
every
museum.
Wednesday,
it's
too.
free on Wednesday, and I do sneak in there. On Wednesdays, I put my coffee at the counter. I say, okay, I'm going to go look around. And that's how I saw the New Californians exhibit. I really like that one. And there was a good
great.
exhibit on Pomo, a Native American art.
And Labyrinth of Forms, which is closing, that's on loan from the Whitney Museum, is incredible.
Yeah, these are big
These are
museums.
massive, yeah.
And
we had Dieberkorn. We've had, who's married to the director? Oh, gosh, why is it blanking?
I don't know.
Oh, it's not going to come to me right now.
Okay.
But, yeah. So we've had some incredible shows there.
And is the museum like a huge, enormous museum that sprawls long? No?
We've got our store out front, which is incredible for if we want to throw in some holiday shopping, get in there early.
Also a very good you're right, shopping area, a really cute gift shop.
Yeah.
And I think it's clever gifts because it's like a museum, so it's sort of like intellectual.
So they're
puns.
themed to the exhibitions, but then there's always some great local stuff too.
Right, okay.
And then there's usually we can break it up into 2 galleries if we need to, but it's just one great space really to walk through that just has it's air conditioned.
Yeah, it's not like, so basically if you don't want to walk very far, you don't have to do a lot of walking. Some people go to the museum, their legs are tired. Or if you're in a wheelchair, mobility impaired, it's like that's kind of daunting.
And we've got seating always. Come enjoy. We've got the library in there as well.
It is neat.
Yeah.
Do they still do that Look Club thing?
They do.
What's that about?
So the Look Club is, I believe, the first Wednesday of every month. And it's kind of a book club, but to go and enjoy art.
So instead of reading a book, you go there as a group and check out the art and hang out and stuff
like-minded
like that.
people go hang out. And
Yeah,
and with this opening, with the reception, there's also a curator's talk where Richard will be there as long as the curators. That's going to be on Sunday, September 24th. $10 for members, $12 for non-members.
That's a great price.
It's the best thing about the museum is everything's priced
It's so
well.
affordable. I mean, Wednesday's free.
Yeah. Don't forget.
So affordable. But you should go in there and pay and check it out. Sonoma Valley Museum of Art.
Yeah.
Do they have more shows coming this?
Well, what we do have coming up, so this year is our 25th anniversary.
Okay.
And so there is going to be SVMA Day in the Plaza on September 26th during Farmers Market.
Okay. They're going to bring art.
Info.
They're going to bring art to the plaza.
We're just encouraging people to come picnic, hang out on the plaza.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah.
This is like when you go to a baseball game and it's like whatever.
It's a giveaway day, but we're celebrating our 25th anniversary. So
okay. And there's going to be some music.
Yeah. Well, it's the farmers market, so we're borrowing their music.
Even better. Well, you're a local here in Sonoma, so you know the farmers market is the see and be seen time here in Sonoma. And it looks like on Tuesday, September 26th from 6 to 8 o'clock, you can bring your own picnic and a beverage to toast.
Yes.
You can also buy beverages there, I believe.
Yes, you
wineries
can.
do pour. Yeah. And then, Mayor Sandra Lowe's going to be there.
Yes, she is. Well, she was big on the arts when...
She was the year of the arts. I'm going to have her back on the podcast. I'm going to look it back because she got us the Ada Limon bench.
Yes.
And Ada Limon was here.
Saw that. That looked amazing.
Ada, I know you're a devout listener to this. We would love to have you on the podcast next time.
I think she was just on Sam's podcast.
I know.
So that was a ghetto.
I know. Okay, so that's SVMA.
That's what we do have. I did want to bring up one more thing that SVMA currently ongoing. The first one is tonight. Great Places, Great Spaces.
What's that?
This is where a curated series of intimate gatherings at exclusive destinations filled with art, architecture, design, and Epicurean excellence. This year, you can get a behind-the-scenes look at Williams-Sonoma, visit the studio as Sonoma artist, or hear live music in an olive grove.
Wait, so people can go to the Williams-Sonoma down the street?
Yes, that one is on September 14th. There's a restaurant.
Oh, these are all different events.
These are all different events.
Okay.
But yeah, you can, these, it's usually around $225 per person.
Okay.
And it's, you go to people's homes and enjoy a curated experience.
That's amazing.
And enjoying their art in their home.
And are they going to go, you mentioned the Williams-Sonoma. I only bring it up because the original Williams-Sonoma store, when I mentioned to people, like, of course, was started in Sonoma. And it's about another half block past the art museum. So they're going to do something in there.
Yeah. So Scott Foster and Paul Arata, in collaboration with Williams-Sonoma and Layla, are going to have an evening in the garden with wine, hors d'oeuvres, and more.
Okay. That sounds very cool.
Yeah.
And the Olive Grove is a different event?
That is a different event, yes.
Are you going to trick people into harvesting olives?
I mean, in Sonoma, we might.
You never know.
We just might.
And then for information about the Sonoma Valley Museum of Art, is there a website?
There is. It's svma.org, or you can call 707-939-SVMA.
Okay. That's great. So that's the art museum?
Yes. That's our local one established 25 years ago.
And that's all the art we have, right? We're done. Podcast
no,
is over.
It's
Wait, there's
so
more?
Weird. There's more art.
Wait, there's more.
You are familiar with diRosa.
I am the diRosa Preserve.
diRosa Preserve, smack dab in the middle of Carneros, 217 acres, including 2 large art galleries, a beautiful lake, abundant birding, walking trails, vineyard views, outdoor sculptures, and picnic grounds.
What I think most people do know about them are these enormous outdoor sculptures.
Yes.
It's kind of what they're famous for. We
The
see
sheep.
The sheep, the little wavy thing.
The new one that they installed, the Oliver Lee Jackson. Yes. The wavy thing. The art.
Thank you to Tim's Art Reviews. You know, the wavy thing that's near the other
wavy
thing. No, so the big sculptures, but you're saying there's also beautiful gardens there.
Yes. So currently on display is something that's really incredible. It's called Natural Discourse. And it's an immersive art experience with large-scale photographic installations all throughout the property. This goes through October 8th. They're billboards, basically, scattered all around the property.
For real?
Yes,
like,
they
wait,
are.
They're not like old
No,
actual
they're
billboards,
they're
billboard size.
pictures. They're these artist photos, but they kind of just blend into nature with the way that
that's
they've
cool.
done them.
Okay.
So it kind of explores the connection between art, science, humanities by putting these artworks in unexpected natural settings. Okay. So instead of seeing them, you know, in a museum, you get to go hike around the property and enjoy the art that way.
This is what I like about this, in counterpoint to the Sonoma Valley Museum of Art, which is fabulous.
Yes.
This brings art outdoors and kind of experiential, and you stumble upon it.
Yes. There's, plaques, obviously, and,
Right.
you know, they'll get you there. But what's great is with the property, there's 2 new shows opening on September 8th. There's an opening reception September 9th from 5 to 7. And these shows, you know, you can go into the first gallery and then take the shuttle or walk to the next gallery.
Okay.
So enjoy the things in between.
Yeah, I see one of them's called Ghost of the Machine.
Yes. And then To the Max, Maximalist art from the diRosa collection.
Okay.
But the big thing that we're really excited about is the collection Homecoming. diRosa is, after the 2017 fires, they had to move some of the art really quickly to a warehouse. And so they are bringing it back in a new state-of-the-art storage facility in the gallery. And it's got this large, glass wall that you can see where they're doing curating and doing restoration and where they're storing the art now.
That's kind of neat. You can watch art in action, not just
stored away.
Yeah, and also people don't realize that for a museum or any place that displays art, it's not just hanging it on the wall. You have to maintain it, keep it up, clean it.
Then diRosa, they have an incredible fall lineup.
Okay.
They've got music on the lawn all September.
Okay.
It's out in the courtyard, so that's free with admission.
Okay.
To the park. Grandparents' Day on September 10th.
If I'm not a grandparent, am I still invited?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't know if you get the special activity kit, though.
Fair enough.
There is Listen Louder with Anna Teresa Fernandez, which will be opening on Saturday, October 7th.
Okay.
That is another exhibition. And then Plein Air Painting Picnic on October 13th.
And plein air, does that mean I'm just using very simple colors? What is plein air? Is it plain and boring? What does that mean?
The day will include a morning tour of selected artworks, plein air painting instruction with a Napa-based artist, and lunch on the grounds. And then if you're new to painting, it's not a problem. Beginners can come and are encouraged to attend.
And they can paint in the outdoors right there. I got it. That's cool.
And then, of course, diRosa Day Halloween Haunt.
What?
There is, yes, a hay bale maze and a haunted house.
Is this on Halloween?
This is on October 21st.
Okay, good.
So there's,
Because we do Sonoma Spooktacular on the Plaza.
We
okay,
do.
Good.
So this is before. Come and test out your costumes.
Smart idea.
Yes,
I like it.
always. There's going to be costume contest for kids, trick-or-treating, locals market, food trucks. So this is going to be a great event. Pre-sale tickets are $35.
Okay.
So get them now. Full price will start September 22nd. So that'll be $45.
Okay. diRosa, I saw the website here. It's diRosaart.org.
It is.
It's a real good destination, and it's also a neat counterpoint to if you're out wine tasting and you want to break from the vineyards and the wine. This is smack dab in the middle of the vineyards and the wine.
It's right across the street from other wineries,
Right.
and it's a great break. And you can bring, speaking of wine, your own wine to picnic there.
What?
Yes, not many people know this.
W.
Yeah, so bring a picnic, hang out. Take the whole day, hike, bring the kids.
Okay, bring the kids.
Bring the
the
kids.
grandparents.
Bring the grandparents.
Grandparents say, all right, great. That sounds like a good event. And fall outdoor art would be a cool thing.
Yes,
right.
it will, especially when the grass turns green again.
Right.
It's stunning out there.
As opposed to now when it's golden.
It's golden. Is that the hint?
Golden.
Yes.
Some might call it brown. We call it golden. The
Golden.
Golden Hills.
Yes.
Very good. All right. What else you got? What else is good?
What
is that
else
it?
do
Is that
I have? No,
There's
we got
more
the
art
big
in Sonoma.
one.
The big one.
Well, music's part of the arts.
It absolutely is.
Yes.
Absolutely is. And I see here you've got something from Winery 16600.
Yes, one of my favorite wineries. Okay. So Vinyl Sunday, to celebrate Grenache Day, they are bringing in Grammy award-winning jazz vocalist Catherine Russell and her band performing here in Sonoma.
And it'll be at the Winery 16600?
It will not. It will be out at the Denmark Street Barn on Sunday, September 17th.
Okay.
Tony Saunders is opening with the Keystone Band.
Okay.
It's going to be a great day out there. Food from Mike the Baker.
Oh, Mike the Baker?
Yeah, we know
Farmer's
him.
Market. He's great. That's good food.
He is.
Okay.
He does a lot of the 16600 events.
Yeah, okay.
And it's Grenache Day celebration all weekend long, so
Okay.
tons of Grenache flowing.
We were talking about Grenache with Bart Hansen from Dane Cellars.
We love Bart.
And a GSM mix and stuff like that. And so I love that Grenache. Not as many people know about Grenache, but it's a big varietal in Sonoma Valley among some winemakers.
Yes,
so
and my favorite.
It's your favorite?
It is.
See, was the vineyard that you guys had, was it a Grenache
No, it was
vineyard?
Pinot Noir. But Pinot's kind of an intro to Grenache for people that aren't,
it's the gateway
winos.
grape?
It's the gateway grape.
I'm hitting the Grenache hard, but I started with Pinot.
But no, it's going to be a really fun day. Doors are at 4, music's 5 to 8. Tickets are $75. You can find them at 16600.com. 16 spelled out, 600 the number.
Yes, and someone explained to me that was where the original vineyard
That's
was.
still it. So that's the
there in the
estate.
hill,
Yeah,
estate.
that's where, it's still there.
Still there. But if you want to taste normally their wine, they do have a tasting room
We have a tasting house.
in a house. Thank you.
It's a tasting. We have a tasting house.
All right, which is on First Street
Yes.
West.
And it's filled with art by Stanley Mouse.
Okay. And he was kind of big of the Grateful Dead
Yes.
and the sort of Haight-Ashbury
Cover
movies,
artist,
did a
and
lot
he
of,
designed
Rolling Stone stuff.
our label. Yeah.
And they also have they have vinyl
Vinyl Sunday.
normally
often.
as a thing. They play records.
Yeah.
For those younger people who are listening, my daughter calls records vinyls and CDs albums,
Okay.
which bothers me to no end. But that's just because she's,
Doesn't know.
She doesn't know. And she's a junior in high school. By the way, she runs the Sonoma K-pop radio show Thursday nights on KSVY.
Oh.
Listen to it. But everything's on Spotify now.
Yes.
Right? And so she said, Dad, we need to get one of those. I forgot what they're called. They're round. I said, okay. He goes, and vinyls. We need a vinyl. And I'm like, are we talking about flooring? What the hell? And then she meant records. I guess Taylor Swift or somebody came out with some K-pop people.
There,
records
a lot of them artists are releasing them back
Repressing them.
on,
which is great.
which is awesome.
I'm so happy that I got rid of my turntable so long ago.
So long ago, right?
But I have a bunch left. Okay, so this is Catherine Russell and her band.
Yes.
Winery 16600. I want to say if people do miss this event, but you shouldn't, which is September 17th, there's always something music related at wineries, especially ones like 16600. Who are doing a big part of this is the culture here in Sonoma.
The last Vinyl Sunday, they had a great cover band out of Mill Valley that did Dead covers and everything.
Oh, really?
They were
Okay.
just so much fun and great. And
Well, it could have been, from Marin, it could have been members of the original Grateful Dead.
well,
'cause
one
a lot
of them was
still
playing
live there.
Bob's guitar.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. And Mickey Hart, he's from the area and stuff like that. So I'm holding this up to the camera so they can see this Catherine Russell,
Yes.
which looks really cool. This is a nice poster, too.
It is, right?
Do-
That's for the Visitors Bureau.
Is it really? I'm saying we'll
yes,
pull it up.
you
Okay,
guys,
good.
yes.
I will bring this one and put up at the Visitors Bureau. All right, what else? Is that all the art? That's it? We're done?
I mean, there's always Hopmonk Tavern.
Wait, there's more art?
There's always, I wouldn't say art, but I would say arts.
No. Okay, first of all, making beer is an art
Is
form.
an art, yes.
And you got to take hops and water and malt and yeast.
And make it drinkable.
And make it, because if you just put it in a bucket, it wouldn't be that good.
No.
It'd be like bad oatmeal.
Yeah.
But they also have music there, if I recall.
They do. They had a great artist this week, Erica Lee Sunshine, but they have awesome free music every weekend. They have open mic night.
Okay.
Which you can't beat. There's magicians there sometimes.
Does Piano Matt still work there?
Yes, he does.
So he's an actual jazz musician, and I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, I play piano. I'm like, okay. And then I heard him play, and I'm like, why? It's sort of like, a real famous painter just saying, oh, yeah, I'm a little painter. And then it's like Van Gogh or Picasso or something like that. He's a very good musician.
He's super talented, yeah.
And he works
he's
at the
the
restaurant
GM
there.
and also runs open mic night. And
So there are actually quite a few places people go to perform in Sonoma that are not venues solely for music, right? So like Hopmonk, Starling Bar,
Muscardini Cellars.
Muscardini Cellars has music all the time.
Yes,
right?
they do.
some
Simmer
good stuff
Down
up there.
Saturdays.
Right.
The couple coming up with Jamie Jameson and her band,
Okay.
always really popular out there.
So tell me, where is Muscardini's, people who don't know
They
about
are located out in Kenwood, at the other end of the valley. Got to show
up
them some love.
Valley.
Got to show them some love. And they have a
good
great deck out there.
Yeah, horse
food
sculpture out
trucks.
front when you're
Yep.
driving by.
More
And-
art, always
and
in the tasting room too.
By the way, across the street is what I want still, and I bring it up many times, the big dinosaurs over there.
Yes.
I still have not gotten one for my family. But what I do love about Kenwood is when you're sitting there, especially at Muscardini, you're sitting there, you're actually among the vines.
Yeah.
And the hills are behind you, or other side if you're looking at the direction. And you're really different from tasting in a tasting room, often around the plaza, which are walkable and small, and like you said, a former house or historic building. Places like Muscardini, which is in an old historic house, you're right in the farm.
You are.
It's a good spot.
And the backyard there with the shade and everything is just,
it's nice.
it's so nice.
A lot of people taking tours sometimes will stop up there because the smaller tours,
Yeah.
like the 10 people, will stop there because they're really friendly, easy to get to.
Dog friendly.
And it's just a nice afternoon.
Yeah.
Chilling up there.
It always really
I was going to say,
is.
VJB is right up from them as well. They
Yes.
also have music in their little piazza.
They do, yeah.
Usually Italian style, but they have like opera singers and
yeah,
stuff
and then doesn't
like that.
BR Cone do music as well down the road?
They do, BR Cone. And I know they did their concert. I think, are they doing the Sonoma Harvest Music Festival this year? I got to go back and
It hasn't
look.
been announced if it has.
I know.
if
It's
they
always
are.
one of those like secret things. It's sort of like the Huaychica Festival that comes.
Yeah, that one took a break this year too, I
Yeah.
think, right?
So I think everyone after COVID went hard.
Yeah.
And then we're like, that was hard.
Yeah.
So now some are taking a break. So I'm not exactly sure if the Sonoma Harvest Music Festival, which was brought by the same people who do Bottle Rock,
Yeah.
if that's happening this year. But if it is, you'll hear it here. Not first, maybe second.
You'll hear it here. You'll hear it here eventually.
Eventually it'll happen. But there's quite a few venues, right?
Yeah, and then Murphy's. My dad and I stopped down there last night to see some music. Which, speaking of, Matt was in the band performing last
was
night.
he?
Yeah, he was on the keys.
Do you play an instrument?
I do not.
Okay. Does your dad?
Nope.
He does have a radio show.
He does.
So he plays the voice.
No, we always work behind the scenes for
Well
music.
done. Well done.
We promote the music.
I like that. So Murphy's is on First Street East. It's down a little alleyway, and they do have quite a few music. It's run by a true Irishman, named Dermot. A lot of live music, and it is kind of a funny venue in that it's not a formal big stage you sit in front of.
Yeah.
I mean, you can.
You can.
But it's like a small little nook crammed away in the back.
Yeah.
But you kind of sit in the courtyard or in the front area.
Well, yeah, and the wedding party that was at Himalayan ended up.
Did they come over?
They dedicated a song to the bride and groom.
Oh, that's so.
That was there last night.
Unless it's not across the street, it's like
It's
10
down the
feet away,
alleyway.
and the alleyway is also a Himalayan restaurant. Quite good.
Yes.
And they're when you walk down there, it's funny because it's all kind of mixed together. The Himalayan place, the Irish place, and now they have a new smoothie place and fresh juices and stuff. And it's Place des Pyrenees is the name of the alley, technically.
Did not know that.
Yeah, because it's next to the Basque
I just call it the
Boulangerie.
Murphy's.
The Murphy's Alley. Well, because people would leave Murphy's back in the day, and the bread was cooling. Yes,
Yep.
and some might.
It's something some of us have done many a times
You
in their
might
lives, being
find
born and
some
raised
bread,
here.
yes, from the
You
Basque.
can still slip them like a $5 over there and get a cheese
You're like,
stick.
hey, come on, cheese stick.
I just need a cheese stick. Get me home safe.
That's a great point. I like that about Murphy's and the
Yeah.
different places. Do others like Steiner's do live music and stuff like that?
No, they have the DJs on the weekends.
Okay, because people do
and-
dance in there. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think where else around the valley. What other wineries?
Well, it's off. It's funny I bring it up. like Vianza has music sometimes.
Does San Giacomo, don't they do like a Friday night
They
thing?
do an event, and I can't remember if it's live music or not. But
Is it?
they might as well. Doesn't Steve just start DJing? He's out there? That's a good question. There's always different live music around Sonoma Valley. I do know that. I do know
Sebastiani's schedule sometimes just...
Sebastiani Theater, which is a great historic theater and shows movies, but also performances. And then random funk bands would show up.
Yeah.
And they like blow the roof off the place.
Yeah, it's
and
great.
And it's really good. So that's a good spot. Is that the only arts in Sonoma?
I think that's it.
We've got. Well, I will mention that we do have in the fall Sonoma Arts Live, and the different theater groups roll out their things. Sonoma Arts Live and is in the Andrews Theater at the Sonoma Community Center.
I've been to a few of them recently.
Wait, were you ever in any of these shows?
I did Broadway Bound Kids as a child.
What was that?
That was the children's musical theater group here in Sonoma.
Broadway Bound Kids.
I think it's Perform Sonoma now.
And that's different than the Witchy Poo people.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Okay.
It was the Duran family, so I grew up doing musical theater.
Did you do like jazz hands and
yes,
stuff?
Yes, I did.
Did you have like the jazz shoes and the whole thing?
No, not that far. No.
Okay. So
I was a background dancer.
Like,
I was once a tree.
you were a tree. It's okay to be a tree. It's okay. No, so that is funny. At the Sebastiani and some different venues, we have the dance troops and things that perform. We do have Sonoma Ballet, and the fall, just to kind of bring it back, is that the fall is a nice time to come visit because, yes, it's harvest, yes, it's crush, but as it's colder, you want to go inside.
Yeah.
There is some really good talent out here you can kind of check out. We didn't mention, but we've mentioned it before, is Transcendence Theater.
Yes.
They still do performances up until the fall.
Yeah.
You know, they do the big events, and they kind of take a break, and they do their holiday events.
I just went and saw the Full Monty. That was
How
great.
was it? Was it good?
Was so good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got to, I
saw the opening show, too, which I can't remember the name of.
the 50s, 60s, and
yes,
70s.
I went and saw that one as well.
That looked like a good one too.
Yeah.
And they're working on next year's whatever iteration is going to be. I think we're very lucky to have that caliber of performances here.
Definitely.
They're like literally people who have been on Broadway.
Yeah.
Fly over here. They do perform Saturday, November 18th at the lighting of the Plaza. So
yes. Oh, it's not on my birthday this year?
Here's what's weird. Someone moved the Saturday. Can you believe it?
Can you believe the city's not throwing me a birthday party
I can't believe
again?
it. We also mentioned wineries music. I brought this. Sebastiani Winery has first Friday of the month through October. They do have live music.
Do they still do the food trucks too?
I think they do. That
used to always be a ton of fun.
Yeah, that's at Sebastiani Winery, which is just walking distance from the historic Sonoma Plaza. You get it all there. Allison, before we get into the part where you help me answer questions, we didn't ask you. You grew up here.
Born and raised.
Born and raised in Sonoma.
Yes.
Go Dragons. Then you said you guys had a 1 acre, vineyard.
Yes.
But that wasn't like your sole source of income, I take it. That was like a hobby vineyard.
Yeah, that was just like a family project that we decided to do. Yeah.
I love that.
Manual labor, family project.
I love that. When you aren't working with your dad.
Yes.
Or coming on the #1 podcast in Sonoma Valley, what do you do for fun?
What do I do for fun?
What do you do for fun?
I mean, wine tasting. Can't go wrong with that.
That's easy to find right here.
Yeah, and eating at all the restaurants.
Go to restaurants?
I feel like I'm still every day
I
finding
feel
something
like
new on menus that I haven't tried.
You enjoy a sport, though, that people might not realize. Like, you're a little more fanatic about it than I thought you'd be.
It's a passion.
What? And it's not pool. It's not hockey. What are you into?
I'm a soccer fan, or football.
How did you get so much into soccer?
I played it as a kid, and I was of the era of Brandy Chastain winning, scoring that goal, that's when I started playing. And she played for the Bay Area Cyber Rays.
Yeah, she went to Santa Clara University, I think.
She is now bringing an NWSL team back to the Bay Area, Bay FC.
Really?
They're going to play in San Jose.
They are
at
the stadium there.
Yeah,
they built
a
special soccer stadium in San Jose.
Yeah, well, it's the one the men already play at, but they're going to have the women's team play there. But I just grew up following soccer after that.
Have you gone to other countries to watch soccer?
I was in Munich the night Germany beat Portugal in the semifinals of the Euros.
You weren't there at the game, were you?
No, but I was in Munich that night.
Was it nuts?
It was the best night of my life.
That's crazy.
It was crazy. You think that we celebrate sports here? No.
Did you go to a bar and everyone was singing their songs? And they had their scarves
and then the train, and then the Munich Platz with 100,000 people.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Were you traveling there knowing that they might be in the finals at that time? Or
no, and this was the semifinals. But we were traveling there it was my graduation trips from Sonoma High.
Really?
Yeah. I spent 2 weeks in Europe right after I graduated.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So your parents have always like travel's important.
Yeah, we were road trippers, unfortunately.
You were.
We had a pop-up trailer.
You did.
We've driven to Wyoming. We drove to Colorado. We drive a lot to Southern California.
Little Griswolds there.
Yes, very much so.
And does your dad just like drive the van?
The car and then the pop-up trailer behind us, and yeah.
That's fabulous. Did he ever like yell at you guys and like say,
Yes.
I'm going to pull this over?
Oh, we just went on a road trip with my dad, brother, and I recently to visit my grandfather, and it was, we're all adults now.
Right.
And it was like we slipped back into it within
You're like,
30
Dad,
seconds.
Your threats don't work
and
anymore,
I was
Dad.
like, oh my God, here we go again.
I pay for my own cell phone, Dad. You can't take it away.
I was like, can we get out, please?
Where did you guys go to?
We just went up north to Grass Valley.
Okay, not that far.
Not
Okay,
that
good.
far, but my brother's
far
partner
enough.
was there, and he was like, is this what?
You're like, welcome to the Coats family, guy.
Welcome. You're one of us now.
This is the future. He's like, this is terrible. But your brother's now out in Texas, so it's kind of a long drive.
He is, yeah. But we did some work with him and his company out there.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, so still trying to keep it in the family.
Oh, good. Good for you. All right. And on some of your other clients, I know you represent everybody in the valley. Is there
I
anything
have at
else
one
new
point,
that's
probably,
happening?
yeah.
Okay. Do you have anything, any other new clients or anybody coming on or new restaurants?
So some new clients are, are you familiar with Vanessa Robledo?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, she's got a new wine label out, Vintner's Diary, just released Rosé of Grenache. So we did some work with her. We work with Aprenda. We love Ned Hill and his team.
Right.
They are getting ready to release a new sparkling and a new sparkling flight at their tasting room.
We just did a reception for our volunteers at their tasting room. And it's really
great,
good.
right?
Yeah, it's a good spot.
Yeah, and the slushies. Oh,
I just literally saw someone buying their wine at Sonoma Market.
perfect.
It comes full circle.
It does.
That's crazy.
We're working with B&V Whiskey Bar and Grill always.
Okay.
We love those guys, Cody and Carlo.
We didn't even mention that Cody himself, who is one of the owners there, is a very good singer.
Incredible musician. Yeah.
And he's in the band with Matt sometimes, one of his bands.
And you can always see them at open mic night at Hopmonk.
Yeah, and but I never knew how good he was.
Yeah.
Because in me, he's just kind of this goofy guy in the corner, and he's like, "What's up, man?" He's like a really nice, friendly guy.
And then he opens his mouth and
I
sings,
know. I'm
and
like,
you're
wow, you should sing more often. No.
Yeah. And then Ledson's one of our clients with the Ledson Hotel right on the Plaza.
It's a beautiful hotel. Balconies look right over the plaza.
Yeah.
Tasting room for Zena Hyde right below it. It's a historic building.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful.
And
place.
it's stunning. They really, the rooms up there, if you haven't been through them, are just incredible.
Nice. Okay.
And then it's Snornetta made farming. So back to, wine growing and farming around here. Did I mention Muscardini enough yet?
You did mention. Is that the one that's in Kenwood?
Yes, that's the one.
And they have like a little tent and a backyard tree.
Yep, that's the one.
And it's a good spot.
Yeah.
Hey, you might have mentioned it. No, Muscardini's a great one. So, you're busy then.
Yeah, we are.
But
But we're accepting new clients.
Oh, you are always accepting new clients, just like up Coats Public Relations. Well, we're at that point now where, because you've already shown your bona fides, like you know everything about Sonoma.
Yes.
You're born and raised here.
Yes.
You worked in a vineyard here.
Yes.
You do all the PR here.
Worked at a lot of restaurants
Worked
here.
at a lot of restaurants. You're going to help me answer some questions now.
Okay.
So, first of all, you haven't seen any of these, right?
No, I have not.
So here's how it works. We have all these people ask us questions. We have the 2 visitor centers. They text them. You're going to help me answer it. This is what we call We Get Questions. Dun, dun, dun.
All right.
So, people text us, email us, call us, however it is they come in. Here's this week's questions with Allison. My 25th wedding anniversary is coming up next year. Congratulations.
Mazel.
Yeah. My wife keeps saying she wants to go to wine country. These are quotation marks, okay? Because this is an email. I have no idea where to begin. Our anniversary is May 29th. Help!
Okay, I was like, we just missed it.
No, this guy's planning way ahead.
There we go.
I do know this person's in the Great American Middle West.
Okay.
And so this is an email we got, and he didn't know what to do. But his wife said wine country.
Go to the Visitors Bureau website.
Oh, you're hired. Yes, so go to SonomaValley.com.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Well, it depends on what part of wine country, but obviously Sonoma.
Right, that's the right answer.
Yeah. Start by finding a good place to stay. Okay. Do you want to walk? Do you want to drive? Do you want to hire a driver? Where are you going?
But like the Ledson Hotel you mentioned.
Yeah.
Good spot right on the
Good spot
plaza.
right on the plaza.
If you want to be out in the vines in the romantic area, Kenwood Inn and Spa, Olea Hotel, those places are kind
Fairmont
of
is a fun one with a great shuttle.
Right, and go across the street to Sonoma Eats because I really, really love their food.
Yes, or Spread just right down the street.
Oh, that's
We
really
love
good too.
Christina
Yeah,
and her food.
she's a great little patio there.
Yes, she
you
does.
sit outside there and eat the Middle
But
Eastern
start
food.
with where you want to stay, and then figure out how many wineries you want to do, if that's what you want to do.
Let me ask you that. Should people do like 25 wineries in a day?
No. That's not.
So what do you recommend? How do you tackle how many wineries to taste at?
I like to start with one that like potentially offers food, or at least build my lunch around it. Eating is very important.
Like St.
when you're
Francis
wine
has
tasting.
a whole food and wine experience.
Exactly.
And some of them offer smaller wine nibbles and things, but that makes sense.
But I like to plan mine around food whenever I go wine tasting, and then see if you want to squeeze 1 or 2 more in after that. But I think never more than 3. You want to remember the wines. You want to enjoy the experiences. And then get a nice dinner reservation, and then, see where the night takes you on the Plaza.
Well done.
Thank you.
You're hired.
Okay.
That's great. So, John, I know you emailed this to me. There's your answer from Allison. She knows the stuff, so listen to her. And don't go to that many wineries.
Do not go to 25 wineries.
This is not.
Hopefully they will stop serving
They will
you.
stop. This is not a pub crawl, people. This is wine tasting. Here's a question we got. When is the lighting of the Plaza this year?
Not on my birthday.
Not on Allison's birthday. It's Saturday, November 18th.
Awesome.
We literally got that via text this morning.
Did you
and I'm
really?
like, that's fantastic.
That's a plant. Come on.
No, it's not. And that's what I thought. Yeah, people can text our service, and we'll answer it. It usually pings my phone or Jose's phone.
Nice.
And it's after hours. Often people will ask us. And usually it's anything from like, we lost something.
Yeah.
Yes, we have your hearing aid. It got turned in, which we've gotten.
But I do love the lighting of the Plaza. That's
It's
so much
fantastic.
fun. But make reservations for dinner in
Early.
advance.
Now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do that now.
Smart. And then some of the tasting rooms, if you're a member of like a Pangloss Cellars, they do events for the wine club members. Mm-hmm. So join all the wine clubs right now.
I'm a Pangloss Wine Club member.
Oh, you don't get invited.
What?
Yeah, shoot. Sorry about that, Leslie Lyon. I didn't mean to get that out. Please. Okay, here's another one we got. Ready? Hi. People they're so emphatic on the emails. Hi. Visiting Sonoma area from the East Coast for the first time next month, staying in Kenwood. We'll have 2 days to explore Sonoma and Napa and want to make the most of it. How many wineries should we realistically expect to visit in a day? Any must-see or do's? Are drivers and transportation an easy option? We like Chardonnay, Cabs, and Zinfandels. Open to others. Thank you. It was on Facebook.
Well, don't go to Napa. First and foremost.
Right. Jeez.
Sorry.
God.
No, I think that kind of goes back to my other answers.
Right.
If you're in Kenwood already,
Right.
I think I mentioned them before, Muscardini Cellars.
Oh, is that Muscardini with an M?
Yes.
And it ends in an I?
Yes.
And between it, Scardini.
Italian varietals.
Very
We
good.
got some Zin in there and some
Okay.
cabs that we make as
Okay.
well. But yeah, if you're doing Kenwood, that whole
Yeah.
strip down there, you can't go wrong.
There's plenty of there. There's even a group now that's calling themselves the Small Wineries of Glen Ellen and Kenwood. It includes like Hamilton Family Wine, Schermeister, a bunch of different smaller guys. Wine
Yeah,
Snob is
I
in
read
there.
about that recently.
So it's kind of neat because there's smaller tasting rooms that you wouldn't normally know about their wines. And actually, we don't have a lot of. We do have big wineries that you'll know the names, like St. Francis. You know the name of, right? Klein and Jacuzzi. You might know those names, family owned. But there's a bunch of small guys,
Yeah.
right? When Hamilton is the Hamilton family,
Yeah.
they're sitting there. Von Duffy, it's him. Matt Vaughn's
Yeah.
pouring you your wine. So there's a whole bunch there that they can get to.
Yeah. And if they're staying in Kenwood, I mean, that's,
Right.
Get a driver for the day and, just
Have a good time.
pop around.
I do want to clarify, is there frequent bus service through Sonoma Valley for wine tasting?
No, and we've talked about this, haven't we?
Is there,
Is this a pet peeve of someone's?
can you expect an Uber just to show up?
Oh
when you're at
gosh,
the
no,
Kenwood?
please schedule in advance. Always, or, hire a designated driver. I've noticed on Facebook, the Sonoma Wine Drinkers group.
Right.
I think you could probably reach out on there
Yeah.
and see if there are, other reliable drivers and things like that. But
Right.
always book transportation in advance.
Thank you. Good tip. Because sometimes if you have cell service that rhymes with AT&T, you will not work in parts of Sonoma Valley.
Sure.
And so if you're trying to request an Uber or a Lyft or whatever, it might not show up.
Yeah.
So I
and the
always
taxi service, unfortunately, here is also.
Right. Although one taxi guy, he's one of the Sherpas, he just climbed K2.
Yes.
I'm going to get him on the podcast. So
Got it.
so talk to that guy if
Yes.
you can. But he's currently in Nepal or something, so don't. But you're right. You should book your drivers ahead of time.
Always.
Yeah. Another thing we talk about is there are tours, like on bike tours. Pushpak Motors offers little scooter tours.
Yes, and didn't they just
walking
win
tours.
an award?
He did win an award. Pushpak just won an award from Viator, second year in a row for being one of the top non-motorized tours, I think, in the United States.
Yeah.
It's cool. I'm going to get him on, Howard.
Yeah.
And he actually likes music a lot, too. He was a big promoter of music at one time.
He was. My dad and him go way back.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Okay. He always calls me and goes, hey, Tim, Bo. And I call him back. I'm like, I know you as Howard. He's like, oh, yeah, Bo's my other name. I'm like, okay, well, anyway, what do you want? So, all right, good. So person, staying in Kenwood, definitely go to Muscardini, go to the other wineries there, check out the small wineries of Sonoma and Glen Ellen.
Yes.
Book your transportation ahead of time. Don't count on being able to find an Uber or a Lyft, or book one of the tours that goes there. All right, that's good. That's a good answer.
And don't go to Napa.
And don't go to Napa. Here's a question one of our visitor services reps gets. Where in New Jersey are you from? No, probably doesn't apply to you and I, but Sharon is from New Jersey. A lot of people are surprised to find that it's true. Sharon is from New Jersey. They have great pizza in New Jersey.
Oh.
Yeah, but I can't remember where she's from. But Sharon knows the answer to that because she's the one that's from New Jersey. But that's one of the questions we get. We got the question this week.
There we go.
Here's another one we got. Someone walked up, and this is a good question. How long does it take to get wine from a newly planted vineyard?
About 3 years.
About 3 years.
Yeah.
So before, but people, it's not like planting corn where you get it the same year.
Yeah.
So you plant it.
I'm saying about too.
About.
You know.
Right. That's a good point. You knew that so fast.
Yeah. Well, we had vineyards.
So oftentimes what people don't know, when you plant a vine, it's actually grafted. There's a root, they call it a rootstock. It's a portion of the vine that goes in the ground, the root, and then they cut it, and then they tape on the type of what they call the varietal or variety of the grape. So it could be Pinot Noir, it could be Chardonnay. Usually ones that produce quickly, Sauvignon Blanc, Chardonnay, Pinot. You can get some grapes pretty quickly, I think. The problem is, and you also get wine, but not a lot.
Yeah.
Right, like 5 years is when you get it. What people don't get is like if you're planting Cabernet or something that then to get the wine takes a long time.
Yeah.
You're talking like 8 or 9 years from planting to harvest to, barrels, cellaring, to actually having something you can pour.
Yeah.
So you better have a side job.
Yes.
Right?
Always have a side hustle in the industry.
Have something else you can do. But you knew that really good job.
Thank you.
Wow, that was it. I mean,
Was that the answer?
You answered it so fast. Normally I was going to hem and haw for a little bit and talk about, we're not planting daisies.
It's about 3 years.
It is about 3 years. But you see, some people will keep vines going for a very long time, like Zinfandel.
Yeah.
And they call it old vine Zinfandel, and these gnarly, out there.
You can see some out at Beer-Cone, I believe.
Okay, right, out on the hill.
Yeah.
Oh, where the lavender, the mustard girls are always running through it, and they had to put the signs. Stop running through the mustard. But it was very pretty on that hill. And then some other times you'll see they'll tear up a vineyard after like 10, 15, 25 years because they're not as productive. Mm-hmm. Sometimes Chardonnay and Pinot Noir will do that. And people often ask me like, oh my God, they're tearing out the vines. Like, yeah, that's just kind of, it reaches the end of its productive use, right? And sometimes they'll just burn them there and turn that back into the soil. I always thought you could do something with the art, with the wood. I don't know what, but it's all gnarled, Chardonnay and stuff. But you can often see that. And then I mentioned the grafting. Some people will do what's called a field graft. They'll cut, this is laborious, but they will cut the rootstock and then they'll go in there and regraft it in the field. So they don't have to redo it. Advantages, you can get grapes faster. Disadvantages, your back is going to hurt. So it's a lot of crawling around on the ground. Allison, you know a lot about Sonoma.
I do.
I should probably just give you this podcast now. Like, you win. You're now the.
It's funny. I had to come right after the game ended, so I might interfere with watching sports for me.
So you're that much into soccer.
I am.
You have to watch every game.
I don't have to watch every game, but it helps my mood.
Isn't Oakland getting a new team?
So Oakland has the Roots right now.
Okay.
And Oakland sold their women's team. They're not in professional league, but they're really fun. I go out to opening day every year, and it's a blast out there. And it's, owned partially by Marshawn Lynch, which is just hysterical. And we love him around here. But Oakland does have 2 soccer teams already.
We don't have like a North Bay professional team.
No. Sacramento's getting a team. Bay FC is getting a team. But
not us.
But not us, no.
Well, we got baseball. We got the Crushers.
Yeah.
And whatever else we can get there. So, Allison, real quickly, if people are looking for more information about some of your clients, I think it was Sonoma Valley Museum of Art, svma.org.
Yes. diRosa.
diRosa Art Reserve. Just look up diRosa.org. diRosa,
16600.com. 16 spelled out.
Okay.
600.
Muscardini Cellars.
Muscardini Cellars.
Maybe, or Muscardini.com. Okay.
Yeah. Hopmonk.com.
Okay, good.
Ledson.com. Laprenda.com.
They're all there. Just Google this stuff, find it. I'll put it in the notes. If you're watching on the YouTube, I'll put them down in the notes down below there. And then if people do have, let's say someone needs to hire a good PR firm, what is the website for your PR firm? How can they get a hold of you?
Oh, please don't go to our website. It's being redone right now.
Okay, so how should they get a hold of
you? Give us a call, 707-935-6203.
Okay.
We answer the phones and we'll get back to you and,
Fantastic.
Happy to help you out.
And you guys do press releases, you do strategy, you do all the stuff you need to do.
We do. Right? We get the word out.
Good. I love it.
Yeah.
And for the rest of you that want to learn more about Sonoma Valley itself, remember to go to sonomavalley.com. And if you like this podcast, and I know you do, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Hey, why don't you go give us 5 stars right now? Why don't you go say, I'm going to rate this thing and give it 6 stars. Just demand an extra star to give this podcast and ask for it. Mom and Dad, thanks for listening. Boy, I hope you're going to class. And everybody else, we'll see you next week. Allison, thank you very much.
You're so welcome.
Bye.